I'm Greg Shapiro, and let's quote up South Florida and Florida. Vague Florida bills target gender-affirming care. Florida lawmakers are advancing a series of bills that LGBTQ advocates warn could further criminalize and restrict care for transgender youth. Two measures, HB 743 and SB 1010, would make it a third-degree felony for medical providers or state employees to aid or abet gender-affirming care for patients under 18. The bills use the term sex reassignment prescriptions and procedures, but do not define what aiding and abetting means. SB 1010 also opens the door to civil lawsuits and fines of up to $100,000 for each violation, and allows the Attorney General to pursue cases up to 2 years later. Behavioral health professional Savannah Thompson said, quote, "This could increase the feelings of fear from my clients who are under 18, but it also can increase the likelihood that these professionals won't be able to talk with their clients honestly and openly to give them the care and the support that they deserve and need," end quote. Lawmakers also advanced HB 173, which would require parental consent for teens 13 and older to access outpatient crisis services. Critics warn this could limit access to mental health hotlines such as 988, which will disproportionately harm queer youth. Democrat Representative Robin Bartleman reportedly told the bill's GOP sponsor, Representative Kim Kendall, quote, "If my teen is about to kill themselves, I want them to access a hotline," end quote. The bills come as Florida Republicans continue aggressive efforts targeting trans rights and LGBTQ protections statewide. I mean, come on, why is it not surprising that Florida lawmakers would utilize vague language in bills to entrap and prosecute people? That's
the vagueness. That's the point.
That's exactly their motive, especially when it comes to something that is ultimately a matter of life and death. The cruelty of these barbarians knows no bounds.
The fact that a lot of these politicians have children of their own. Can you? I did advocacy work and answered emails and letters for the Trevor Project. Mm-hmm. You know, and people know that I have a organization that deals with mental health, and I have been very honest on this show about my mental health journeys. To think that a 13-year-old, I remember when I was 13 and dealing with stuff, I was scared enough to say something, nor did I know where to reach out. To have to go to my parents and say, "Mom, Dad, I need help. I need your permission for me to call for help," is unimaginable. And I hate to say this, but what is going to happen when one of these lawmakers that has a child, whether they be straight or gay or bisexual or transgender, who is being bullied and needs help and gets turned away,
it won't be there.
And it won't be there. And then all of a sudden that child commits suicide. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that lawmaker who passed that law now has that on their hand because they caused their own child's death.
There are multiple cases of politicians who push for anti-LGBTQ laws only to make a U-turn when they find out that one of their children or one of their nieces is part of the community.
We need to think about because these laws I hate to say this, but these laws affect our community. It affects every single child in our community.
That's also the biggest difference. You're talking about there was a U.S. Senator Republican. He didn't support marriage equality. Marriage equality is very important, but we're grown adults that can find a way to live and deal with that. We're talking about children in mental health crisis situations, in gender-affirming care situations with their doctors. This is a very different situation. These people could harm a lot of kids, and the Florida legislature is absolutely unhinged this year. They're trying to do this. They're also, at the same time, they're trying to make it legal. So right now, if a cop knows he's breaking the law, he's not allowed to beat you up while he's doing it. I didn't know that needed to be said, but apparently that they want to repeal that law. And that's crazy. And this is crazy. The Florida legislature has lost their friggin' minds. And I see this, and I'm like, what the heck are you doing?
They are coasting on their Republican supermajority. They think that they gerrymander the states into a red super state, and now they are basically just going to pursue every policy on their whim. I mean, modern American politics has now come to the point where it is no longer about policy for the people. It's about who can make the other side cry.
Well, yeah, we knew that DeSantis was going to be even crazier, especially when he wasn't going to be considered to be president. We knew this is all going to be about him going nuts in his last year.
And now it is about the road for his wife to become governor.
Well, I don't even think she's declared, but we're seeing this, and I do want to remind the medical community, yes, they're trying to pass laws to make it so that you have to pay fines if you help our community. I still expect you guys to do your duty. There are certain things. This country is changing in the way where there are certain things that are more important than the law. Like, to paraphrase and butcher a West Wing episode thing about if the law says it's illegal for a doctor to set the leg of a man, you still set the guy's leg, doctor.
Agreed.
That's what the standard should be.
You know how
the Hippocratic oath.
Yep. No. Absolutely. Well, there is no other queer non-profit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.